Good morning and welcome to the second day of the Social Finance Vibe 2022 towards a resilient future. We would like to express our gratitude to all conference partners. European Commission is the strategic partner and sponsor of the event.
The content partners include Social Inclusive Finance Technical Assistance Program called SIFTA, managed by the European Investment Bank under InvestEU Advisory Hub, the European networks Euclid, Eurocrowd and EVPA, as well as Impulse, the Frankfurt School for Finance and Management, UNHCR, and Romanian Microfinance Association.
We would also highlight the other contributing partners: CGAP, Mastercard, Financial Access Initiative, European Microfinance Network, European Fund for Southeast Europe, National Contact Point for Financial Instruments of the European Union programs, FinDev Gateway, and SME Finance Forum. Thank you so much for co-creating this event with us. Let me now move to the next item on our agenda of this morning. I would like to introduce our distinguished guest, Ms. Gelsomina Vigliotti, Vice President of the European Investment Bank. Ms. Vigliotti, our virtual floor is yours.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'm very pleased to welcome you on the second day of the Social Finance Vibe 2022 conference organized by Microfinance Centre. With the COVID-19 pandemic, we learned to cope with the new normal, entailing more digitalization and remote working as part of our day-to-day professional activity. This year, Europe and the world are confronted with yet another dramatic uncertainty, spurred by Russia's invasion of Ukraine. The war has resulted in a significant humanitarian crisis in terms of lives being lost and cities destroyed, with a consequent inflow of refugees in the European Union. The EU is also experiencing the economic impact of soaring energy pricing while confronting with commodities shortages and growing inflation. Growth is slowing down and business activity is already facing considerable challenges in Ukraine, in neighboring countries, in the entire EU and beyond. At the same time, we are confronted with a challenge to addressing the critical need of our planet's climate and environment emergency. In this time of radical uncertainty, inclusive finance activity has become more and more important during the last few years, also because vulnerable groups are confronted with difficulties in accessing financing. So please allow me to focus on immigrant entrepreneurship and on green microfinance. In recent years, the European Union faced a significant and growing number of incoming refugees and migrants, culminating in the European migration crisis of 2015 and the Ukrainian refugee crisis of 2022. This crisis places enormous demand on the institutional and budgetary capacity of member states and of the European Union as a whole, and have a significant political and societal implication. Evidence shows that across EU member states, a number of migrants were able to set up their own business, contributing somehow to alleviate this burden. The share of immigrants among the self-employed in the EU more than doubled between 2006 and 2020, and contribution to innovation and job creation by immigrant entrepreneurs are increasing. However, financial exclusion still hinders migrant entrepreneurship. Sometimes their borrower's profile has a limited track record in business and credit history or lack appropriate collaterals or guarantees. Hence, the traditional banking sector often attaches to migrant entrepreneurs a higher default risk than native-born borrowers. Data from 2021 shows that 55% of European microfinance institutions are involved in green microfinance to some extent, 39% offering it through regular loans and 16% providing specific green microloan products, the latter being an increase from 7.5% in 2013. The most common green microcredit products are energy efficiency and renewable energy loans. European microfinance was below the global threshold in terms of providing green opportunities in the beginning of the 2010s. However, the Green Index data from 2017 to 2019 shows there have been improvements, putting Europe in a leading position when it comes to renewable and energy efficiency loans, and at the same time level as global standards when it comes to recycling, waste management, and clean water loans. Nevertheless, Europe still needs to catch up significantly in terms of the quality of its climate-smart agriculture loans. Let's talk about the significance of green microfinance in Europe. It contributes to ensuring there is an inclusive and fair transition towards climate neutrality, making sure that vulnerable and excluded groups can benefit from and contribute to building a greener future. It supports energy security by financing energy efficiency, decreasing energy losses in buildings, and the diversification of sources of energy, for example, installing solar panels, leading to lower dependence and less sustainable and more conventional forms that are subject to the current energy crisis. It assists in the adaptation to climate change of the agriculture sector, which could suffer significant income losses due to the environmental crisis, up to 16% of EU income by 2050, with large regional variation. Can also support semi-subsistence farms, which have a lower adaptive capacity due to a lack of financial resources and human capacity through mechanisms such as insurance bundled with loans or technical assistance. It offers sustainable microenterprises potential sources of revenue through carbon credits. Supported by green finance, small farms and sustainable businesses could be eligible to offer these securities, leading to increased incomes, assisting the often financially volatile and unstable situation of small farmers. Some of the factors that limit the expansion of green microfinance are: first, the high cost it implies for MFIs, for example, technical training to staff, extensive need for monitoring, and increased risk of agricultural loans due to climate change. Second, the reduced demand for green microloans due to the highly cost-focused nature of MFI clients who are discouraged by delayed returns. Third, the still limited awareness on green technologies, intention-action gap, often complex technical eligibility standards, long approval processes, and extensive data reporting needed for MFI clients, also negatively impacting demand. What are the next steps? Mobilizing more finance, technical assistance, trainings to both MFIs and their clients to tackle awareness issues, and development of more tools to ease the burden of reporting, such as the Green Road Funds, eSave, or Red Screen, developed by the Government of Canada. So what is the European Investment Bank Group doing to tackle these shortcomings? There are numerous EU initiatives where the EIB Group is actively involved in fostering migrant entrepreneurship through specific activities, such as the EIB has launched the Embrace advisory platform Solidarity Package for Ukraine, which is a dedicated platform to support the EU member states impacted by the influx of people fleeing the Ukraine's invasion. Through Embrace, EU member states can receive advisory assistance to rapidly deploy investment projects, financial instruments, and platforms to support their communities in the short, medium, and long term. Public support for these vulnerable groups comes in the development of financial instruments aimed at providing guarantee to cover for the riskier loan portfolios and by strengthening the capital position through capacity building investments alongside with advisory and technical assistance services. FICOMPASS, an advisory platform on financial instruments provided by the European Commission in partnership with DIB, provides capacity building activities to managing authorities and other relevant stakeholders to promote the use of financial instruments aimed, for example, at the financial integration of migrant entrepreneurs. Under FICOMPASS, the EIB is about to launch a study aimed at evaluating the potential for the use of financial instruments aimed at financial and social integration of migrants, while assessing the capacity of public-private stakeholders, including specialized financial intermediaries, to undertake social investments in this area. I'm pleased to learn that MFC is involved in this study. This study will not cover only the Asylum, Migration and Integration Fund, but also other European Union shared management funds in order to identify and map financial instruments alongside with business development services, which could be considered as best practice and could be used as a source of inspiration in the setting up of future financial instruments targeting migrants and refugees. Microfinance institutions prove to be an instrumental tool for helping the vulnerable groups, such as migrants, entrepreneurs, to create businesses, thereby creating jobs for themselves but also for others. Under the EU Programme for Employment and Social Innovation, out of the 2.8 billion euro that reached 138,000 micro and social entrepreneurs, of which 24% of migrant entrepreneurs. Based on this successful guarantee implementation, the new InvestEU products for microfinance and social entrepreneurship aim to enhance access to finance for macro entrepreneurs, including self-employed, promoting quality, sustainable employment, and social inclusion. InvestEU will also allow the advisory services of the EIB to provide targeted capacity building services for microfinance and social enterprises finance providers in the form of tailored training, workshops, peer-to-peer exchanges, and study visits. My colleague Bruno Rubino from EIB's advisory services will provide later, around lunchtime, an update on the launch of this initiative called Social Inclusive Financial Technical Assistance, where MFC is involved in the delivery of the services to target beneficiaries. In summary, the EIB Group is a large provider of micro and social finance in Europe and beyond, with a wide range of dedicated financial products. Alongside making more finance available, faster and more accessible to the micro and social enterprises in Europe for years, we have built an advisory activity in close collaboration with the European Commission to complement and enhance the impact of the financial products to build and professionalize micro and social finance ecosystem in Europe and to promote best practice, share knowledge, and thus create efficient networks and delivery models. Both these elements match the European Investment Bank Group and the European Commission funding capacity for the future of work, the prosperity and the inclusion of vulnerable individuals in Europe. I wish you all a fruitful meeting and I thank you for your attention.
Thank you, Ms. Vigliotti. Indeed, microfinance sector has been improving its outreach to vulnerable groups, including migrants. It has been also advancing on green transition while keeping its focus on inclusivity. We are also very happy to see the implementation of important initiatives such as Fee Compass, AMIF, and InvestEU that benefit the vulnerable groups. We also look forward to joining forces with the EIB and the European Commission over the study that we hope will lead to developing effective schemes of financial instruments for migrant integration in the EU.
If any of you have joined us today for the first time and would like to find out more about the main features of the Hopin platform, we have posted a short video for you in the conference reception area. Feel also free to use the help desk services for this event, available in the sessions area.
Moving on to the next agenda item, we would like to recognize leaders in sustainable agriculture innovations. This is a second edition of the Green Inclusive Finance Recognition. The recognition initiative was launched last year by the MFC to raise awareness of the green good practices and reward those who are taking an extra mile and experiment in this field. Today, we would like to recognize the practices of the two institutions, Foundation for the Development of Polish Agriculture and Patria Credit from Romania. Congratulations! Let us watch the video of the first awarded organization, Foundation for Development of Polish Agriculture, which is recognized for contribution to the development of the local agriculture market linkages.
The Foundation for the Development of Polish Agriculture is an independent NGO with a 34-year tradition. The initiative for its establishment was born during the martial law, and its purpose was to support the restructuring of Polish agriculture, the food economy sector, and the transformation of the Polish countryside, as well as to build a civil society. For almost 30 years, we have conducted extensive lending activities to support the development of entrepreneurship in rural areas. Thousands of rural entrepreneurs have benefited from our financial services. Rapid climate changes and environmental degradation are key challenges of the modern world and at the same time a threat to Europe. The European Green Deal is the EU's response to these problems, but also means practical challenges for all industries and individual companies. The Foundation's statutory activities have for many years focused on programs showing how to reduce the negative impact of agriculture on the environment and the effective management of natural resources such as soil and water. For many years, we have been distributing information and delivering education campaigns on renewable energy sources, climate change mitigation and adaptation, promotion of distributed energy and prosumer energy. These activities are addressed to farmers, agricultural consultants, teachers, and students of agricultural schools. In addition to training and study tours, we have developed a range of educational materials on the topic, from publications, presentations, to films and multimedia materials. Our experience proves that administrative orders alone will not bring the expected results if they are not accompanied by educational activities aimed at producers and consumers. This is why we have paid so much attention over the years to educating rural residents and farmers. The Foundation for the Development of Polish Agriculture.
Congratulations to FDPA. Now let's take a look at the brief presentation of the second awarded institution, Patria Credit from Romania. Patria is recognized for capacity building of farmers in environmentally friendly agriculture. Congratulations to both of you. If you would like to hear more about the practical experience of the awarded institutions, you can attend talks with leaders at 11 and 1 p.m. Today we also hold a session on green managing transition in microfinance at 10 a.m.
Let me now present a few additional highlights of today's agenda. The conference agenda is built around three themes: social economy actors, financing social economy, and mega trends. Under social economy actors at 10 a.m., we invite national associations and platforms to join a close roundtable by invitation only to discuss burning issue of the stakeholder group. Under the mega trends at 12, join us at the session titled Mastercard and MFI Together Towards Digitalization.
Under hashtag financing social economy, we have the following sessions prepared for you today. At 11, we will discuss good practices in financing social economy in Eastern European markets. And at 1 p.m., there will be an opportunity to learn about various EU-funded programs and initiatives for microfinance and social economy.
Throughout the whole conference, we run a series of sessions talk with leaders. Today, we will focus on practical cases related to hashtag financing social economy And we encourage you to attend the session with Microfonden from Sweden at 9:30, so just after this session, Plaza Germany at 10:30, Micro Europe from Spain at 11:30, PISA from Poland at 1 p.m., and Banca Etica from Italy at 2 p.m.
We also would like to invite you to a special event of today, an inspirational talk by Sophie Certain, the CEO of the SIGAP at the World Bank. Sophie will tackle the topic of inclusive finance and resilience. It will be followed by a short summary of key conference takeaways by MFC Council member Mr. Archil Bakuradze.
Throughout the event, we cordially invite you to visit the conference partners' booths in the expo area to learn more about their work. At the MFC booth, drop us your recommendations and suggestions concerning this event and other MFC activities.
The very next session with Microfonden from Sweden starts in a few minutes at 9:30 sharp. I encourage you to grab your coffee and join the sessions panel now, and see you back at the main stage at 2:30. Then, that time, we will also announce the location of our 2023 annual MFC conference. Enjoy the event.